Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Today, there are a few things that contribute to it. So I take a lot of things as signs, and normally mornings are very uneventful. I appreciate that. I like that aspect of mornings. I don't want to deal with stuff, but I was putting on a brand new shirt that I got and caught my deodorized armpits. So I had to switch and I have to wash it. And I haven't even worn it yet. Just took the tags off. And then I caught my boot on the metal lip of our garage door. And I got these boots on Monday too. And so it scraped up the entire front of my boot, which is wonderful. And then I gassed up this morning when I got to town and I pulled the nozzle out and it spat back at me. Oh. And so now I have the smell of gasoline on the left arm of my shirt. So it's all I can smell and I'm getting nauseous. So it's just a culmination of things now leading up to what's the worst.
Night. My son is a second-year bantam, so this is his last year in youth hockey. Mm-hmm. And so, you got to spit that out? Oh, I thought
I already did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I don't have meat in my mouth. You're so obsessed with me.
I'm not obsessed with you. So anyways, so it's his last couple of games of youth hockey, and it's so weird to have both my sons go through the hockey program, and this is his last. So they do this thing where they announce your parents and you walk out there.
Yeah. Cute.
So, but here's the thing, and the hell that's going to rain down on my home this afternoon between 3 and 4 p.m. will be when my wife realizes that, and I think she wants to, I think all the moms are supposed to wear their sons away jerseys.
Yeah.
And I can bet you $1 trillion that my pig pen of a 15-year-old kid hasn't washed his game jersey in my wife, and it's going to be my fault. I can hear it now.
Can't you get home and wash it? You're going to be home in 3 hours.
But they got to learn a lesson. So no.
You're going to have a stinky wife.
So, different how? Kidding, very kidding. But what's going to happen is about 4 o'clock, my wife's going to go, Nolan, grab me that jersey. And he's going to go, and he's going to pull it out of that stank-ass hockey bag. And she's going to go to put it on, and it's going to be way too late. They're never going to get it washed and dried in time.
You can't get that funk out anyway.
You can't, actually, the jerseys you can. The gloves you can't. The shin guards you can't. The helmet you never can. But the jerseys do come clean with enough chemicals thrown into your washing machine. The jerseys come clean.
You need to get her a little something on your way home. Because this is her baby.
Like gum?
It was a big deal.
Oh, no.
She's going to cry.
So?
Are you a monster?
Well, no. Listen.
Get her a little thing of flowers or get her something that she likes. Get her a bottle of wine that she likes. Bring it home and just say, I love you. I know.
Get drunk. Your kid's not a youth anymore?
It's going to be a big deal for you. Your last baby in the house.
I can't believe that's the thing. I can't believe I'm supposed to get my wife something because my kid's not going to be a youth hockey player anymore. See, this is it. This is everybody just telling you what to do. It's like I have 2 wives.
So there's a new drug-free way to take care of constipation. Maybe you're one of those people that you said it this week. You're like, I haven't gone number 2 in 3 days.
I got bound up over the weekend like something fierce. It was hurting.
How uncomfortable. Did you have a hard belly and stuff?
Yeah, it was. Ugh. It felt like I had a tumor.
So you would just take Vibrant, which is a vibrating pill.
Vibrant is not a laxative and works with your body's natural process. Simply swallow with a glass of water. Vibrant's unique drug-free approach uses gentle vibrations to stimulate the colon mechanically. The disposable capsule is expelled with natural bowel movements.
You poop out a vibrating pill.
Yeah. And some people are going to be cheap enough to wipe it off and do it again. So I don't know. I feel like it would just maybe cause some problems. But the owners of a Toronto home got a surprise when they went on vacation. These 2 people sold their house.
Back in January of 2022, investigators say 2 Etobicoke homeowners left Canada on a business trip. At some point, 2 suspects, a man and a woman, used fake ID, hired a real estate agent, and listed the property for sale. Somehow, that sale went ahead, and the buyers took possession. The real homeowners only found out what happened several months later.
So
you got to be kidding me.
Can you even imagine that? Where they just, it's like putting your school up for sale for the senior
That's
joke.
an inside job, though. You know these people are going to be away for 6 months on business.
And then you have all the paperwork ready, and this realtor sells your house. That would be so crazy.
Come to think of it, when you sold your last... I'm trying to think of, like, when we sold our house, I don't think anybody said, can you prove to us that it's yours? They just said, all right, what do you want for it?
Well, didn't they have... Yeah, you had your photo ID, but they obviously made theirs at home.
Every day. I feel like we've got... This time of the year seems like we have so many pertinent anniversaries for our show. It was 14 years ago today that a very, very high water mark in the development of the show happened, Kat.
Which was what?
Think about what you were doing 14 years ago today. Better yet, think about what one young man did in our studio 14 years ago today.
Oh, my God. That poor kid that puked all over the wall.
It was 14 years ago today.
Oh, I felt so bad for him, and I watched the whole thing go down. We had this kid that was like, hey, I want to be a job shadow. Can I come in and see how things are going? And then we had our show videotaped from start to finish.
Yeah, we used to
you
run.
could watch.
Yeah, we used to run like a FaceTime Live on our show, and this was the reason we quit doing it. So there was just a camera, like a wide angle lens, in the corner of our studio.
Yeah,
and it picked up all the audio, all the video.
And this room it gets really warm after a while. It starts really cold, and then we shut the door, and it gets really warm. And he started to look a bit grayish.
Well, he was so nervous when he first came in. Like, I think he was maybe a junior or a sophomore in high school.
He's got to be married with kids now.
Yeah, this was 14 years ago.
Yeah. And so he is like slowly going and leaning up against the wall, looking the other way. And I was like, this kid's acting a little funky. And then all of a sudden,
he projectile vomited all in the studio to prevent the sound from bouncing is fully carpeted in here, right?
Yeah.
The carpet absorbs the sound so you don't hear the feedback in the microphones, and it's everywhere. I mean, he projectile vomited everywhere.
And he had told his classmates that he was going to be in here. You can watch on the TV, whatever. You can watch on your computer. So his mom writes us the next day, you have to take that footage down. He's getting bullied.
Well, so what happened is all night. So this kid, he throws up all over. We said, dude, where's your mom? And I think his mom was just like literally sitting outside waiting for him to finish his job shadow. And so he calls mom and she comes in. And I think he sat out the rest of the day at school because he was just, so I don't know if he was sick or too nervous, but what happened is these jackasses that he went to school with were calling his parents' landline at home all through the night. And as soon as the phone would ring, his dad would reach for the nightstand and go, hello. And they'd go,
how horrible. I felt so bad for him. They're like, he's getting bullied mercilessly. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
They called the president of our company.
Yeah.
And he comes in here at like 7 a.m. He's like, you guys got to take that down. I'm getting all these phone calls because people keep watching. So we had it, but it was 14 years ago. It was it's still a vital memory. I remember the smell in the carpet. I remember
because we still had 2 hours left of the show. It was really stinky.
And we took the vomit trash can because he got a little bit of it in the trash can. Took that out to the back alley. It sat out there, but the smell of acidic 14, 15, 16-year-old vomit was stuck in our carpet for weeks. I mean, we sprayed that down with some industrial cleaner, scrubbed it. Luckily since then we've had a studio rebuild and all that carpet's in the trash. But man, that was
funny.
What do you think he's doing today? So let's just say he was 17.
Yeah,
that makes him
probably married with 31, a couple of kids.
31 right now.
Yeah,
that dude got a career. You're right. He's probably married, maybe has a family. And he's thinking to himself, it was 14 years ago today. I was sitting in with Kat and JJ, and I puked all over their studio.
What a TBC.
Do you think he tells that to the wife and kids?
Yes, I think he's said it. Because you look back and you can laugh now that kids were calling at all hours of the night making throw-up sounds.
Guy was a rager. Is it? Wait, is it? Hey, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Zach.
Yes.
Zach, this is, okay. Zach, we were just talking about you, right?
Did Samantha just call you?
Yeah, she texted me.
Okay,
oh my God,
whatever.
Your voice is definitely lower than it was when you were in high school.
Now, again, for anyone that's just got us on right now, Zach, do you remember puking in our studio 14 years ago today?
Do you remember that?
No, I completely forgot.
So we were just kind of retelling the story, but did you hear it on the radio, or did your wife? I know your wife texted us Were you just like, I can't believe they're talking about me a decade and a half later?
I can believe that, but yeah. So that. So I ended up having food poisoning.
Oh.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
And then, I ended up, I believe I went back to school that afternoon, and there was multiple teachers playing the video for their classes.
Oh, my God.
And did we remember it right that the catalyst was people calling your house at night and just going, bleh, and your parents got really pissed about that?
No. So my... It had like 5,000 views within 4 hours.
Yeah.
It was mainly everybody at Apollo, so that pretty much ruined the rest of my high school life.
So sorry.
So that was great.
I'm sorry we're laughing like this.
No, you're good.
Okay.
It's not the first time.
So 14 years later, from the epic throw up in the studio, we had to pull the video down and everything. Let's just fast forward to what's your life like right now? We know that your wife had texted the show, and I can look back on the texting, and she's pretty active with commenting on stuff we're doing. Well, what are you doing right now, 14 years later?
So I'm happily married. We have a beautiful 1-year-old daughter.
Oh,
congrats.
And I am the public works supervisor, so
and do you
life turned out
think
pretty good.
you wouldn't be as successful if you hadn't gotten 5,000 views right away?
Well, my plan was to go on the radio, and that abruptly came to a halt.
It's so great. I'm so glad you called. Well,
Fate is such a weird thing. Like the fact that he noticed that it was the 14-year anniversary, your wife happened to be listening. It just like had to happen today. So we appreciate you like having a sense of humor.
Will this be a hiccup now, Zach, in your life that this has been re-brought back up? Or
We'll see how much my phone blows up. As long as I don't go viral again before going viral was a thing, we should be all right.
I can tell you this much. We're going to make it part of the podcast. Will start airing at about 9:30, 9:45. So if you ever want your daughter just to kind of listen to what Dad's life was like.
You can tell her that you were viral before viral was a thing, because 5,000 views in a matter of like just an hour or so, that was major.
Ever had a Borg, Kat?
I have not.
As somebody you're probably the most distinguished human that I associate with that has tried the most different kinds of foods and exotic drinks and stuff like that. You feel like you put yourself out there. You're kind of a foodie.
Yeah, I don't mind. I like to try eclectic things.
Well, if you consider yourself maybe a little bit exotic in your sampling of food and drink, I introduce to you the Borg.
First, you need a gallon of water. You want to pour out about half of it. Now it's time to add your liquor. Today we're using Tito's vodka. I put in probably like a third. The final real step in making a Borg is to add your Mio or some Crystal Light. And then lastly, because it's only 1 p.m., we're going to add some liquid IV so we don't get hungover at midnight. Now you shake it all up. Taste test. It's really good.
Now,
do you know a girl that sounds like that? Everyone knows a girl like that.
Plenty.
That'll rip the filter off of a cigarette and drink it. This sounds so classy. I would love to walk around with a gallon water jug.
I was introduced to this in the fall. We were at a tailgating college football game that my son and all his dopey college friends were at.
Yeah.
And they were all carrying around gallon jugs. They were all red or green or purple. And I go, what do you got there? And he didn't call it a Borg.
What did he call it?
He said, he called it a Try This, Dad.
Oh, okay.
That's what he called it. He Try This, Dad. And so and it was delicious.
Listen, I think vodka waters are probably the smartest drink out there because you get a lot of hydration in that. I think it's a good idea. And then you pair it with a Mio or whatever. But the look of it, man, just screams Melrose. Sorry.
Wow. Taking shots.
Of Melrose.
Shots fired.
We do cows and Borgs is all I see. That's it.
If you were looking for a name for it, it is now called a Borg. So again, just in case you didn't understand it, you got a gallon of water, right? You go to the grocery store, or milk. You finish your milk jug. You got a gallon of milk. Rinse it out. You fill it halfway up with water.
Yeah.
You put a fifth of vodka in, and then you can add Mio or some Propel or some Pedialyte or whatever the deal is for flavoring, and that's your drink.
And then if you meet someone that night, you know they're in it for you. You know, they'll
cheap.
take you for what you're worth.
It's easy. You can throw some ice cubes in there if you want to keep it cold. But when I was introduced this fall to this whole thing, and my bonehead kid and all of his friends were walking around with gallon jugs at the football game pregame, I was like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, it's early in the year. Y'all are broke, right? You spend all your money on tuition and rent. And now I'm finding out that this is the big college thing right now.
Can you imagine the people that work higher up at your kid's private college? And they're like, this is what
the
look is.
They look the other way.
Oh, my God.
At everything. So, happy Borg Day.
And now, another post from Aunt Nora.
I'm on a group text with Susie and Lisa from Rotary. I'll join halfway through, and it's just too much. I text yes, thinking it would answer any questions that were above that were asked. So now I have to bring drinks for 80 people for the next city event on the 24th. Last time I say yes to anything. Kathy comments below. Are you going to the meeting tonight? Nora says yes. Kathy goes, gotcha. You said yes.
That was another post from Kat's Aunt Nora.
What a great life.
I feel your sarcasm bleeding through in a heavy
not
way.
Not at all. Not at all. It's been a good week.
Got a dose of the cold there to come back to you?
I don't know what's going on.
Heard you sneezing all morning and you got the cough.
I sneezed twice, but the cough is nagging.
You don't understand. Listen, I can hear everything that happens in here from my office.
Yeah.
You're at 7. I've counted 7 sneezes this morning.
It sounds like you're obsessed.
It's
when
not,
you
but it's
count
not.
like that.
It's just I hear it. And
Okay.
I am convinced there's something in here that you have an allergy to.
And maybe that's true. Maybe there's a ton of mold in the walls.
Do you sneeze a lot at home?
No, I don't think so.
Because in the very beginning of the day, like it is quiet in here, and you do 2 sneezes.
Yeah.
And then about 15 minutes later, I hear another 2 sneezes. And when I come in here, it's a couple of sneezes. You're at 7 right now.
I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't know. I just,
Christ.
There's something in here. There's something in here that's got to be
get rid
making
of it then.
You need to wear a mask.
Find that something. You're always about finding solutions to problems. This is obviously a problem.
When it's my
for you.
problem, like I don't have a problem with it. Sneeze all you want if it makes you feel good. I just figure you pee a little bit every time you do, so it's got to be disturbing.
I don't. The other day, though, I did. It was probably the worst it's ever been. And I was like, oh, my God.
Were you in public?
I got to get it figured out. I was in the car going to get Liam from school, and I sneezed, and there was too much pressure. And it was not good. Normally, it's not like that. My sister has that situation.
Now, how much are we talking? Like a dribble, a shot glass, a full beer mug?
Probably a shot glass. It was enough to have to go home, rinse off.
Do you clean the seat then? Or is that
No, it was
God's
isolated.
problem?
This is too much. So I
You brought it up.
Picked Liam up from school yesterday, and the best days for him are when I turn my head and I look in the back seat and I say, do you want to go get some queso blanco? So we go to Los Artizas, and I'm like, listen, open gym doesn't open for like another hour and a half. I'm going to walk this off. So I watched the rest of the Pam Anderson Netflix show.
Yeah, nipples everywhere.
While I walked on the treadmill. No more nudity.
Oh.
But man, that woman is smart. Like a lot of people did not give her the credit she deserved.
Well, I think she doesn't get the credit she deserved because she was founded because she looked really hot at like a basketball or a football game.
Yeah.
And then she took all her clothes off and got famous. I mean, that's why most people don't think she's smart.
The way she just describes like how she had to play the role. And then they did this montage of all these idiot men, including like Matt Lauer, other people that were interviewing her. And the only questions they could come up with was, so are those real? It's like, you guys are idiots.
Or how do you like the red bathing suit?
Yeah. And so she's like, I just had to play it up. You know, I was like new to the scene and I just had to go with it. I'm like, girl, that sucks. But either way, it is totally worth a watch. And her son put it together.
How, was it, like 90 minutes?
No, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's a long time, but it's worth it. And there's boobs and girl parts.
Maybe I'll download it and watch it on the way to Mexico.
Oh, sure.
That would be a good look, right?
Yeah.
Trish and I sat in the hot tub for about 45 minutes last night and did not drink a bottle of wine, by the way.
You didn't?
I had one brewski.
Oh, that's nice.
That's it. And we solved a lot of the world's problems, but one of the things that I wanted to ask you, and it was weird because it was a clear night and I could see a lot of the stars and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I just said, hey, if you were to get a free trip into space, like on the
Virgin Galactic.
on the Elon Musk thing or whatever. I mean, would you go?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go to space. It's like you thought I wanted to go to space. I just want to go somewhere.
I think I'd
and
go.
see crystal clear sky. No, I don't even like to fly in a regular plane. It's like I think morbid things. The other day I was watching I don't know what it was. It was like a show on airplane mechanics gone wrong.
Ugh.
And the plane took off and there was a drop of a chemical that dropped out of a wire onto another wire it shouldn't have. And the whole plane snapped in half. Everyone fell to their death. It was a freak accident. But they're like, well, it could happen. It was a drop. It was a drop of liquid, JJ.
Jeez.
That landed on a wire that it shouldn't have. Final destination stuff right there.
I don't know why you watch these kind of shows. That
I just
sounds
stumbled
like...
upon it. I was like, this is awful.
So, again, if you were offered a free flight into space so you could look at the Earth from beyond our own atmosphere, you wouldn't take it.
I don't want to look at the Earth. I want to look at the stars. And I can't see the stars out of a tiny window.
I always like to come in the morning and have Kat go, you know, I had lunch with the girls yesterday. And then I just sit there and I patiently grab a cup of coffee and wait to hear the drama. This one seems odd because I would assume that most in-laws know pretty much everything about the child or the person their child married.
But I think ideally you want to paint your spouse or significant other in the best light possible. And then if you know that your parents don't like certain things about people and then you bring somebody home and they have to get used to that because you love them. But I have a friend who was talking about how, I don't know how we got on the topic of it, but she was like, oh yeah, my parents will never know that my husband went to jail twice. And
Well,
I was
wasn't like a violent crime, was it? Like
one was when he was younger, he hit someone's bumper and then drove away. So it was a hit and run type of thing.
Right. Okay, I get that.
He was young. He was scared. He drove away. And then the other one was DUI. And he got busted for that, went to jail. So she was like, oh, yeah, they'll never know about that. And I said, it's not that big of a deal. It was like almost a decade and a half ago.
You know your parents better than anyone if they're going to react adversely to that.
But they have a kid and they've been together for 8 years.
I can get why she does this now, because if this is going to make it awkward at birthday parties, Christmases, stuff like that, then it's unneeded drama. Now, if they say, hey, did Jeff have a hit and run in his previous, like when he was a younger kid, he was 17 or 18, and you go, yeah, I was just dumb and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like,
but all this stuff is public knowledge. You can easily look up anybody. And I think, especially if I had a daughter, I would run a background check on somebody. I think I'll know everything about who Liam is going to be with because
my daughter's had a serious boyfriend for 3 years. Never looked him up. I just knew the kid.
Well, he doesn't look like he.
Well, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Commit any
John
crime.
Wayne Gacy looked like just a fat, nice guy.
No, he didn't.
Oh, until he put the
looked
makeup
evil.
on.
Anyway, so I was like, I wouldn't even worry about it. And it doesn't even have to come up. When would it have to come up? But
look at this.
There's something that you wouldn't tell your parents.
A woman, we're going to call her Tanya, is on line 2. She has a secret about her husband that her parents don't know about.
Okay. Tell her to hold on.
Yeah, I want to get her story and then yours as well. I mean, see, Derek's an open book to your parents. Like, there's nothing they don't know about him?
There is nothing that they don't know about him because I truly believe that people can go to jail, they can go to prison, they can do something bad in their past, they could do something and still be a very good person. People make mistakes. It's the people that continue to go back because they don't learn their lessons or I don't know. But I had a friend whose husband, when he was younger, stole from a company that he was working for, went to prison for it.
Blue-collar crimes are treated so much differently, you know what I mean? Kat goes out to lunch a few days ago with a bunch of her friends, and one of her friends comments, I'm never going to let my parents know that my husband has gone to jail.
Yeah, and they were things that happened when her husband was young.
It was a different life.
Different life, and you go through, like, they say 6 seasons of your life. You are 6 different people throughout your life, which I completely agree with. You're always growing. And I go, I don't think it would be a big deal. You have a kid together. He's a great dad. He's a great husband. It's not like he went to jail for beating up a previous spouse, Like he went to jail because he was young and hit someone's bumper and drove away. Good decision. No.
This is a different angle on this. Matt, I appreciate being part of the show. How you feeling today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah, I appreciate, again, your transparency here. So you're kind of on the flip side of this. You've done your time, and you're now encouraging, is this right? You're encouraging your girlfriend / fiance, whatever your relationship is, to tell her parents about this?
Yeah, I think it's important to be upfront and honest because, this day, I'm a totally different person than I was in my, younger.
Most of us are,
30s,
man.
And, I've done my time. I've come out. I got a good job. I'm doing good things in my life. And I've been dating this girl for over a year, and she just doesn't want to tell her parents about that time of my life.
Yeah.
Do you think
to be honest, I think they already know.
Yeah. Do you think it's that she's embarrassed about this, or do you think she's concerned about how her parents are going to react?
But it's also the level of what happened. What happened to you that put you in prison?
Right. I think it's a little bit of both. Like, she was raised a little bit different than me, like none of her family's been in trouble with the law or anything like that. As in where me, I did my time. But, I think they already know because they dropped a couple hints before and she just doesn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
Well, is it? And I guess my final question, and again, thank you for your honesty and your transparency. Is it your job now? Do you think that you'll go ahead and make this transparent to them, or are you strictly waiting on her to pull the trigger here?
I wouldn't go behind her back.
No, never. I would never go behind her back.
No. I'm just saying, if it comes up in conversation, you guys are all just sitting around, and then, do you say, yeah, the time that I spent in prison or the time I was in jail, or are you just only if she says it?
Only if she says it. It's actually like there's been a couple of times where I've wanted to say something when we were talking, but then I didn't, and then I asked her later, would you have been mad? And she's like, oh, yeah, I would have been mad.
Oh, okay. So you clearly know where the line is there.
So you went to prison.
Where the line is, yeah.
What does it rhyme with?
Drugs.
Oh,
drugs.
It rhymes with drugs. Okay, fair enough, man.
But, you reform yourself from drugs. You didn't go in for a violent offense. There are levels that, as a parent, I think they should understand. I think they would be okay if they see this clean guy. He's clean from drugs. He treats their daughter like a queen. I think she's overthinking it.
Yeah.
So hopefully
listen,
it works out.
I think it's worse if you mention that you like country music. I don't know a lot of parents that are going to be okay with that.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't lead with that.
Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate you being honest with us this morning. It's fun to hear from you. Thank you, and have a good day. Now, I told you that Tanya had been waiting on hold, and from what I'm understanding, this one's going to be a little bit different. Tanya, appreciate you being on the show. You're not telling your parents.
Well, okay, so we've been married for 7 years now, and I noticed this about 2 years in, and I know that my husband sometimes wears my clothes, like things are just amiss.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it. Like I know he's wearing them, and it's the kind of thing I'm not going to tell my family ever. And it's the kind of thing that that's just his thing.
He knows that but no one ever talks about it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just kind of, so I don't tell my family, but it's kind of his thing, and we have a really good marriage. So I don't know why I need to, but it's fine. Whatever.
Right.
Okay. So is it Hobbit Town or Hobbiton?
Hobbitville or something.
Hobbitville.
Yeah.
It's an outdoor set from Lord of the Rings, and it is super popular. People love this franchise, so they'll go to New Zealand, go to this tourist destination, and there's a pub that you could stop in and go have lunch, have a drink, and out pops Ed Sheeran.
Go to see The Hobbit, and Eddie shows up. Hanging out in New Zealand.
Yeah. You can see all the old men looking around like, who is this guy? Is this
The
part of the
redheaded
show?
guy with the piano or the
Hanging
guitar
out
over there.
at the Green Dragon Inn, feeling cute. Might go hang out. After Tom Brady posted a selfie, what did I say yesterday? I said, if he just moved his hand, they would probably sell a ton more undies, and Gronk concurs.
I don't think he did it right. I think everything's right, but his hand is not in the right place. He's covering up a little bit. You're not supposed to be covering up. That's what's supposed to be showing. You got to show the package, Tom. So everything looks good besides his hand placement.
Isn't that great? Like, you can be the greatest of all time and think you're doing something cool, and then you just have that one friend that's going to dog you out no matter what. That's Gronk.
So it's weird how you can grow up in the same household as other people, and they're totally different from you. Like my brother, I didn't realize how nerdy he was. He goes, Hobbit Town, Jesus. It's called the Shire.
Oh, thanks, Michael.
But he's married, so he got a girl. So we know that.
Yeah, but she got a cataract.
No, all right. Christine Brown, she was the former sister wife. So did you ever get into that with Trisha? Did you guys ever watch that?
I've watched a couple episodes, but I couldn't stop thinking, what's wrong with this man? How you want more than one wife?
It looked exhausting. And then when they all wanted their own homes and got to design them when they moved to Vegas.
And how did this guy make all his money?
Everyone wants to know that. So many questions. But now she's divorced from Cody. Now she sounds so happy she met somebody.
I am dating someone exclusively. He's wonderful and romantic and so kind and everything I've been looking for. Incredible with Truly. He's absolutely a dream come true.
He likes the Trulies, huh?
Yes. Those switches up the claws.
I was going to say, you kind of have to if you want to date a sister wife.
It looked exhausting. It really did. It looked like a lot of problems.
I'm sure it's great for some people, and I don't doubt your lifestyle. For me, if there was a half-wife option, I'd be into that.
So if you had to add a wife from somebody you work here with,
here?
Who would it be? Probably Cindy.
Probably. She's the kindest.
Yeah.
She takes care of us a lot, but she butts in a lot. Sometimes the light's on and she just comes in here.
Yep.
I wouldn't be able to have that at home.
Okay. But she's the top one, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody you sit with for 17 years. We have nothing. I have nothing that you'd want. Why am I taking such offense to it?
Boy, yeah. You're really digging here.
All right, take her. Blowing out their candles today, we have Michael B. Jordan, 36. Judith Light, who is Angela on Who's the Boss, 74. And she's in that new movie, The Menu, which you have to watch on your way to Mexico.
That's the one where they serve the people human beings,
it is
right?
The most messed up show. Right when you think there's nothing original in Hollywood, it is incredible. She's 74 and Mia Farrow is 78.
Today's World Pizza Day. We've already given away a bunch of House of Pizza, but have you heard about the pizza diet, Kat?
I need you to tell me more now.
I figured this. So here's the deal. There's a personal trainer in the UK. His name is Ryan. He just finished his 30-day pizza diet where all he ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day for a month was pizza.
Regular pizza? This is not cauliflower pizza with like arugula, or is this like a Domino's?
Dude
original
lost
crust.
7.5 pounds in 30 days, and he only had pizza. I mean, he ate other stuff too. He had protein bars when he needed a snack. But every meal was pizza. He averaged 10 slices a day, 300 slices of pizza he ate in the month.
Okay.
And he was able to lose weight. Now, here's why. He made every pizza himself at home.
Okay.
Going to be healthier than the crust and the stuff you get at Domino's. But mainly, he just made sure he ate around 2,000 calories a day, and that was all pizza. And then because of his resting metabolic rate and the amount of calories that he would burn off by working out, he lost 7 pounds by only eating pizza and protein bars for a month.
But this is bull because that's what guys can do. Guys can do that.
Oh, every girl can do it, too. It's just a calorie deficit.
No, we
of course it is.
Completely different. Our makeups are different.
Nope.
That's why they have that commercial where it's like, oh, I looked at Brad and I gained 15 pounds. He had a loaf and he lost 8 pounds. There's truth to that science. And but I mean, I'll try it. I'll try it. If that's what you want
my arm. No, but I mean, isn't that crazy? So the guy ate pizza for a month, lost 7 pounds.
I think he's a liar, pants on fire. I think he ran everywhere. I think
I'm
he
sure
worked
he did.
out like crazy.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he took his whatever his resting metabolic weight was. I mean, so to lose 7 pounds in a month means do the math real quick. Do you have your calculator? So a pound is 3,500 calories.
Okay.
So it's like 21,000 calories was his deficit for the month.
21,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
right around there. So I mean, I just did the math in my head. So he burned 21,000 more calories than he took in that month, and therefore dropped 7 pounds of fat.
Great.
And that was pizza. I mean, think about that. If you figured it out and you just wanted to eat pizza all the time, wouldn't you be a happier human? Do you really want salads and quinoa and stuff like that?
I love that stuff.
Really?
I love eating like that. I would choose, like there was that place in town, was it called Quirks?
Yeah.
And I loved it. Derek, he doesn't eat
Apparently
like that.
we're the only one.
I know. I felt really bad that it was out of commission, but like I thought it was fresh. I love the fresh cucumbers. I don't like a lot of taste or seasoning, so I really enjoyed it. So I could eat like that all the time.
Styrofoam.
I could eat like that all the time. Jessica Kenyon posted a very cute yet logical Instagram video from her 6-year-old son, Brody, who is speaking, I think, for all of us. He wants a 3-day weekend.
I'm Brody, and this is for the government, and I'm protesting. And I want 3 days off of school.
Yeah.
I've been tired of school lately, and I've been dreaming for 3 days off. 2 days is not enough. I need time to just play and stay home and do whatever I want outside.
He has had it. Have you ever seen that video of the little boy where the dad's like, Are you hot? You're sweating back there? He goes, yeah, I got sweat in my butt crack. And my That's what he sounds like. So I hope they get on board, Brody. I hope the government listens. So this woman had a friend record her very first polar plunge. It's like you're proud. You're doing it for a great cause, Special Olympics, giving kids that don't normally have a chance to play the sport that they love. You make it happen. But she hates it so much.
Go.
Oh, she's crying?
So the worst ones are where you run into the water. That's horrible. That's the slow, Titanic.
Slow burn.
You know, it gets you from your feet up. When you jump into a hole in a lake like Mille Lacs, it just is knives all at once, you know? So I get it. I hate the polar plunge. They will get all my money. I just don't want to go in the water. It's one of the worst things. I hate it. Derek loves it. I will just give my money.
I've never found a cold plunge to be that bad.
I don't enjoy it at all. Let's get to know you with a little Would You Rather.
Sure.
I have about 8 questions. You ready?
Please.
Would you rather work from home for a full day or go to an office or work a half day?
Me? I'd rather work from home all day.
You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd rather be that introverted where we just can't do our job like that.
No,
I
know we can't, but if I had if my wife works in finance, if I had her job, I would much rather work from home.
Yes, absolutely. All right, change a stranger's baby's diaper or your spouse's diaper.
Ooh, I've already had the chance to change my spouse and help her out when she broke both her elbows, and I was a quick no. So I'm going to go with the baby's diaper.
That is horrible.
I just
for
don't,
better or for worse, for sickness and in health.
I just don't want to. If heaven forbid something happened and my wife's butthole fell out, I don't think I'd change her diaper. We'd get somebody in there.
Okay. Wow. Be stuck on a flight next to your ex or be stuck on a broken Ferris wheel with your ex?
The flight. There's a lot of other people around there that I can make fun of her too.
Yep.
So I could make that a fun thing.
All right. Have all your teeth fall out overnight.
Whatever's next.
Okay. Or have all your hair fall out.
Hair.
There
easy.
You go. I would say
it's different for a girl.
No,
right?
I'd say my hair fall out because I like steak too much.
I know, but you can always get
falsies.
You can get falsies and good ones. Right?
Watch 24 Hours of Wheel of Fortune or 24 Hours of Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, I rock at Jeopardy. I'm very good at it.
I have fun on Wheel of Fortune. Jeopardy's a snooze-a-thon. I think Wheel of Fortune is funny. I think Pat Sajak gets into it.
I get too horned up when they show too much Vanna.
That's weird. That was out loud. Go 2 days without showering or 2 weeks without brushing your teeth.
2 days without showering. Teeth are just too. I can't. That little film gets on there.
Take a nap on the beach in a chair or in a yard on it. That's a dumb one. We're going to move on to this one. Stay in all day watching movies or stay out all day on a shopping spree?
Probably movies now.
Okay.
I can't. My wife doesn't even take me shopping anymore. She just be like, I'm leaving. I'm like, all right. She doesn't even ask me if I want to go with.
Speaking of movies, I can't believe that you are so jacked for this movie. This is the new Will Ferrell. He's going to be voicing a dog who is like abandoned by his owner. And so his only like...
The reason I love this, guys,
it's unique.
The reason I love it is because the dog's purpose in this movie is to get back to his owner to bite his junk off.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the previews for this yet.
Today is going to be the best day ever. I love sunshine. I love butterflies. But more than anything, I love Doug.
Hey! Shut up!
That's Doug, the best owner in the world. We're playing this game called Fetch. He drops me off really far away and drives home without me. Oh, that can't be right.
You are officially a stray.
That would mean Doug doesn't love me.
You a stray. You can do anything you want.
I'm going back to Doug's.
What?
He needs to pay for what he did. I'm going to bite his off.
How dumb and morbid and dirty is that? This is an adult thing too, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not made for kids. Will Ferrell is the voice of a dirty-minded, swearing dog whose only objective is to find his POS owner and bite his wiener off.
Yeah.
That's a funny movie.
Okay, I'm ready. So there was a story the other day with this woman that she was videotaping her husband because if there's a spider, I'm sent to handle it, okay, in my house.
Your husband won't kill a spider with a shoe or a rag or anything like that?
If there were a snake in our house, he would be the one to go get the gas can and light the house on fire. Like, that would be how he'd handle that. He wouldn't go fist first into a washer and pull out what he thinks is going to be a snake.
No, it's not.
Your underwear.
No, it's not. That is a snake. That is... No, don't touch it! Don't touch it.
What in your washer would look like
underwear.
a snake? Was it her underwear?
It was her underwear. It was all wrapped up, but it was like snakeskin underwear. And she thought that it was like all wrapped up, coiled up in the bottom.
Huh?
Yeah, but like what a manly man to just open the lid. Like she slammed the lid shut and went to get him. And he opens it, doesn't even like really give it a second glance, puts his hand in there and goes to grab it. I would say the last manly thing that Derek has done was he noticed that our snowblower was only blowing one way. And he looks underneath it and he was like, oh, I'm missing this pin or whatever.
Oh, so the turret one turn.
Yeah. He goes to the hardware store, gets it, fixes it, lug nut, fixed it, moves on with life. Didn't even like brag about it like he normally would.
Didn't have to call somebody about it.
Didn't have to call anybody. He quick Googled it. He's like, this is what I need. Goes to the hardware store and does it. Like, that's a big deal. If you're a handyman, you're probably like, oh, bravo.
So I couldn't really think of anything, so I just texted my wife. I said, hey, what's the last manly thing I've done in your opinion? And she just gives me the eye roll emoji. And I go, Trish, it's for the show, not my ego.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, well, you fixed the hot tub cover. So we had
And you drilled through the webbing of your hand.
Yeah, but did I complain about it?
Yeah.
No, I just told the story.
And you made me watch the video
I know,
of when it
because it was
happened.
pretty funny because I cussed a lot. But basically, like, the original cover we had for our hot tub was one of those hydraulic ones.
Yeah.
Where it goes nice and slow. Well, the hydraulics burst on it, and the thing sucked, and it bent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I ordered a new one. And then thanks to my friend Todd, who provided me the tool that I needed to not have to empty the hot tub, but I was able to just pry it up enough to get a new thing underneath. Anyways, I fixed it and it works great.
Yeah.
And so I feel very, very accomplished having done that.
I thought it was manly that before helping yourself, you looked for what you dropped in the snow as blood was trickling down your fingers.
There was a bolt or a little screw that fell in, and my hand is just gushing blood. It's like squirting out of there. I'm like, I can't lose that little screw because it's not going to. And then when everything melts, everything runs away, and I don't want to step on it in my flip flops or anything like that. So
there you go, last manly thing. What was the last manly thing that your husband did? Go ahead and brag. I love when people brag about their loved ones.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.